Well, we're live behind Largo in Los Angeles with a man who's traveled quite a distance to get here. Kristian from One Eskimo, thanks so much for doing this.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, you as well. So tell me about the tour. You were saying you've been here basically on our side of the world for about a year now.
Well, yeah, practically. I mean, we started out kind of this time last year. We started touring with Tori Amos. Then we toured with a guy called Bob Schneider and a band called Gomez. And then we've just come off tour with Michael Franti. And we've been doing our own kind of shows, so it's been a busy year, and we've kind of seen a lot of the States. So.
I understand the Gomez
cool.
and the Tori Amos and Bob Schneider to a degree, but Michael Franti's a big departure for you guys.
It was, it was a very different tour for us, but it was a really kind of fun group of guys and a kind of fun audience. It's quite different from. I mean, it's every show we've played has been quite different. We've toured with Turkey from Massive Attack.
Yeah.
We've toured with. We've toured with such different people back in England as well. Some kind of real strange mixes, and it's kind of. I suppose we just kind of don't really think about it. We kind of walk out in front of an audience and just see it as okay. This is people that aren't our audience most of the time, especially when you're supporting these guys. So I suppose every time it's just a different experience, and it makes it more fun. It makes each show quite different.
What records did you grow up with? What did you get into music with?
Loads, really. I've grown up listening to Bob Dylan and the Beatles and Nirvana and kind of so much, really. Yeah, and Massive Attack and the Fugees, and I suppose it's and right across the board with all of us, really. I think there's so many kind of different influences throughout the whole band. I think that's why. It becomes quite a kind of different sound, really. It's because none of us are. This is the band we're trying to kind of be like. I think we're just kind of. These are the sounds we like. This is what we want to do with them.
Yeah, and the sounds are hard to replicate live. I hear everyone's kind of multitasking, doing two things at once, three things at once.
We recorded the album as we play live. We've tried to make it. So everything's as free as possible. Nothing we do is on any kind of trigger system, like a tape system. Everything is kind of these single hit triggers that our drummer does, and it's all. There's a lot going on stage for four people, definitely.
Yeah. What are you playing?
I'm not. I'm just.
So three people at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. but you'd be. I mean, like I said, there's a great sound for the three guys that are playing
for sure.
on stage, yeah, for
sure. I heard you started it's kind of like a boy band pop idol in Britain first. In a way.
Yeah, it wasn't in a boy. I wasn't a boy.
But it was your own thing.
A boy band. I think it was more. It wasn't even that. It was just a million miles away from what I do now. I think it was just an age of. Just not being ready to be kind of working with major record labels
How so?
Well, I think you just need to find your feet. You need to find what you kind of. I loved writing. I got signed at my publishing when I was I started working my publishing when I was 16. Signed to a big publishing company at 18, and then kind of major label doing these songs that you're kind of developing as a writer, and you're doing these songs that you wrote however long ago that. And things change over that especially that period of your life. So I think to kind of establish yourself as a songwriter before you're kind of out there singing your material, I think that's definitely it's the better way of doing it. You definitely need to be proud of what you're promoting, otherwise it's too difficult to be doing it.
And you weren't with that first record?
Well, I think, like I said, by the time I'd written them to the time I was promoting them, I was just a million miles in a different direction.
Fair enough.
So
you're still in the direction One Eskimo's heading?
I mean, we're just getting. Honestly, I think we've lived together. We've been in a van together. We've been on a radio session together. We've been in that such close proximity of each other for a year now, and it feels like everyone's getting much stronger. It feels like working on the second album, everyone's really kind of. It feels like we're just developing more. It feels like finding our feet a bit more, and it's a nice time for us.
Are you working on the second record?
We're always writing songs,
you can write on the road, because I know some bands have trouble writing on the road.
Well, you know what?
Some like
it's
to be
difficult.
alone.
For such a long time we were in a little van, and I was just sat in the front, just kind of writing lyrics. But to try and pull any kind of melodies together, any kind of song structures, you can't do it. But we just kind of moved onto a bus, and it's been great. Everyone breaks off and starts working on stuff, and kind of moves it about the bus, and it's been a really nice way of working. It's been a really nice way of pulling kind of the stuff I've been writing over the last year together as well.
Can people hear the songs live? Because I know you're on tour for a couple more
Well,
weeks here.
I think we've learned our lesson in the fact that we just want to make sure that every song is exactly how we want it before people hear. And we're gonna start playing them live, but we're not going to start kind of taking in any recordings into the record label just yet.
Not yet. Fair enough.
And we're still on our first single out here, and it feels like a lot of places it's still building. So
yeah. Well, it seems to be building quite well. It was #1 in the AAA charts for a little while.
It's kind of a strange place to be, because we want to carry on writing music. We've been on this single for a while, and we were kind of waiting to see what we're going to do next. Really.
What is the next single? What's being released here next?
We're kind of working that out. It's a nice situation to be in, because this one song has kind of introduced a lot of people to the album, but there's so many different opinions on the next single, and I think that's a nice place to be. It's nice to know that people are listening to the whole album, and people are coming back with different favourites. It's nice to feel that it wasn't just about this one song, because we don't feel it was.
Especially in an age where people don't listen to albums anymore.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you know what? Our audience is slowly growing, but it's really nice to see that these people are out there singing the whole. Like I said, singing the whole album. It's not just kind of the single comes up and there you go. It's been nice.
Do you think this animation concept's going to continue on with the next record?
I would definitely do something visual to go along with the sound of the next record, but I think it needs to make sense with the sound of the next album. And I think we are developing, and I think that will kind of develop in some way, but I don't really know in what way yet.
Yeah, well, for people
as the sound's developing, that's the main thing first, really.
Well, for people who just know Candy just from the radio and everything like that, they might not know about this animation. How did that all come about? And
this was just fun, really. This was just I've just kind of grown up, kind of in that kind of loving this Japanese kind of animation, and it was at a point where we were kind of working on the album, and you start developing some kind of visual to go along with it, and it's kind of where are we going to go? What makes sense with the music? Because we really felt like we wanted to develop that rather than kind of give that over to someone else. And then we just started developing sketches, and ended up doing this one animation for one of our songs. It took about seven months of about 6-7 animators working on it, and it was pretty much full time. And this was just kind of out of our own kind of love for it, really, and pulling some friends together, and then we won this British Animation Award for it, which was quite a big thing back in Europe, and that just kind of escalated. Then we had some funding from Warner Premiere to get our whole album animated, and we got the guys that did the gorillas to finish it off, because
it has the same kind of colouring.
This 5-minute kind of section took 7 months, so it was a massive project. I think we had about 30 people working for about a year on it. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's good though. It's good fun.
It gets you out to different audiences, though. It's a different way of promoting a band.
I think it was, for us, I hate the way of even people feeling like you have to promote yourself, even kind of getting on doing certain things on certain way that bands are feeling like they have to do their own marketing now online as well, and I feel like that it wasn't about that for us. It was just.
I'm not saying it was. It kind of worked out well.
Yeah, I mean it does. It definitely does. But I think it's definitely a case of right. What do we want it to look like? And these doors just kept on opening, and as they did, it just we kept on kind of moving forward. Really.
Cool. I know your manager's flown in from London, so you got to go. But what are the plans for the summer? What are you guys up to next?
We're here. It just feels like we're here for we're here for a couple of weeks. We go home for couple of weeks, and then we're back here on our own tour. Nice. I think within a kind of 6 to 8 weeks time we're kind of going around again. It's been really nice. It's been really nice visiting each city again, and you get to know what you like about each place, and then every time you go back there's a bigger audience. It's been really nice.
Well, Kristian, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.